Hey guys, Silent Night here, and today Ubisoft decided to release the mid-season reinforcements update seemingly out of nowhere, so I'll be a day late on getting this video out. This will be a complete overview of the patch notes, so if you don't want to see all the minor little details and you just want to hear the highlights of this patch, please click on the link in the description or the comments if you're on a mobile device, and it'll skip you to the end of the video where you can just check out the highlights. So let's get into it. The first thing in the patch notes is a Glass buff. And it says here in the game design notes, the biggest change to Glass's flip sight is the addition of a thermal visual feedback when ADSing through the scope. This will make defenders really pop when they come into view. It should be noted that this will not work through walls. The visual feedback will only appear when your opponent comes into view. However, the scope will outline your opponents even through smoke grenades, Capitao's micro smoke grenades, and Smoke's gas canisters. This should make things more interesting for Glass and close quarters. The next thing we have here is a technical test server. The technical test server is one of the first systems we're deploying to raise the quality of health in Rainbow Six Siege. Deploying in the weeks following the mid-season reinforcements patch, this test environment will focus on specific technical systems we want to introduce into the game. The first of these is the one-step matchmaking, which was mentioned at the Rainbow Six Invitational and is a new approach to our matchmaking to make it more stable. More information on the technical test server and one-step matchmaking will be provided in the upcoming weeks. Next thing we have are new Elite skins. A new installment of Elite skins will be deployed with a Velvet Shell mid-season reinforcements. Embody the French Resistance with Twitch's Marquis set, which introduces a new design for her offensive drones. Each set features a matching uniform and headgear, operator card, operator title, charm, and a signature victory animation. Explore unique facets of history with these special packages tailored exclusively for Twitch. Next up is operator tweaks. Doc now overheals to 140. The overheal effect to Doc's unique gadget was introduced in the first mid-season reinforcement in Skull Rain. We felt as though we needed to revisit this mechanic and decided to increase the overheal from 120 to 140. We did this change for two main reasons. First, we felt like 120 HP was not enough to truly make a difference in a firefight. Moreover, it decreased too fast to actually have plus 20 HP on an engagement to be significant. So most of the time you would have a little amount left. We are now making it worth the effort to overheal a teammate. Buck gets an extra magazine for his skeleton key. We've added in an extra magazine to Buck's skeleton key gadget. We felt like Buck ran out of ammo quite fast and sometimes wanted to give players more freedom with breaching or line of fire openings. Now we have weapons balancing. Red dot, reflex sight, and hollow sight reticle sizes are getting smaller. Due to the realignment of sights and the Velvet Shell update that brought many of the sights closer, we saw immediate feedback from the community that the reticles of many sights were back to being too large. We have corrected this, and the reticle sizes will now be less obstructive when ADSing to allow for better precision and vision. DMR's trigger rate has been adapted to prevent rapid firing. The DMR's maximum trigger rate has been lowered to prevent very rapid firing. This change was made because the maximum trigger rate was too high. Some people were able to click so fast on their mouse that it turned the DMR into a fully automatic AR. We felt like this was too strong. Echo's MP5SD2 does more damage at medium range. We have buffed the MP5SD2's damage at medium range. We felt like the weapon's damage was subpar because of the integrated silencer. Before the patch, the gun dealt 25 damage from 0 to 10 meters. Then it fell to its lowest damage at 14. And now it has 29 damage from 0 to 15 meters, then falls off to 14 damage at 20 meters. Next up we have Thermite's 556XI is easier to control. The 556XI's recoil has been tweaked to make it easier to control. The weapon's personality has not been changed, but you should have an easier time at being more precise with it. Caviar as the Weezon damage drop-off has been tweaked. Cavier's liaison damage has been buffed at medium range encounters pre-patch. The damage went from 70 damage at 7 meters down to 20 damage at 18 meters. Now it only goes from 70 damage at 7 meters to 35 damage at 18 meters. It then falls off to 20 damage at 24 meters. We felt like Cavier's signature weapon damage drop-off was too sharp and made it too hard for players to understand what range is lethal and which isn't. It is now good or better at all ranges than the standard PRB92. Jackal's C7E's recoil is getting balanced. We have increased the recoil of the C7E. We felt like it was way too accurate and had no downsides. It is now harder to control for prolonged full automatic fire. Capiteo's Para 308 is getting a recoil buff. We have buffed the Para 308's recoil. A lot of the Pro League players expressed how hard to control this weapon is, and we felt they were absolutely right. It should be easier to control over fully automatic fire and should sway a little less to the sides. Other improvements. 0 ranked MMR exploit. Last week we implemented several fixes to resolve the occurrence of an exploit that would result in the winning team receiving 0 ranked MMR points. On top of resolving the actual issue, we have also reinstituted an abandon penalty for exiting a ranked game during a final kill cam. We will be continuing to monitor this issue closely, and we welcome you to share any feedback or issues on our forums and subreddit. In gameplay fixes, there is an exploit that results in ranked games awarding 0.5 MMR after a win fixed. We have hit registration and kill cam show a headshot without the proper bonus point with the next shot fixed. We have the player cannot detonate a nitro cell if they are put in a down but not out state while holding it and then revived fixed. We have weapons will become invisible after the revive animation of a player or hostage is interrupted fixed. We have the feedback for cooking a frag grenade is not replicated in support mode fixed. We have the camera clips through an operator when they go downstairs while in prone fixed. We have the compass does not move or shows the wrong direction while the player is repelling fixed. We have crouching under a deployable shield while it is being placed will allow the character to sometimes clip through it fixed. And we have the smoke grenade effect passes through floors fixed. In game mode fixes, we have ranked. In some cases, playing placement ranked matches do not count towards total placement matched needed to obtain a rank fixed. And in terrorist hunt, we have Jackal will sometimes not activate a nitro cell when walking near it fixed. And we have extraction animation played at a specific point causes AI to remain stuck running in place fixed. In operator fixes, we have shield operators. Shields are not protecting operators from explosive damage fixed. We have blitz fixes. Blitz has spent an additional time at the range, thus reducing the draw time on his weapon after triggering his shield flash. There is no longer a 2-second delay before Blitz can fire his weapon fixed. We have frost fixes. Frost is unable to place her traps near a window is fixed. We have echo fixes. When hit by a yokai sonic burst, the camera mode can't be used for the duration of the disorientation effect fixed. We have the yokai drone resist its initial camera direction every time echo accesses it fixed. And we have the yokai drone will sometimes experience the wrong collision detection when it is sticking to the ceiling and will result in a losing signal error fixed. For Mira, we have breaking reinforcement panels placed around indestructible pillars will leave gaps between the wall and reinforcement fixed. We have the one-way mirror plant event is triggered twice, making the sound too loud fixed. We have sometimes Mira cannot place reinforcements next to the one-way mirror fixed. We have the frame of the one-way mirror switches the place where the second mirror is being deployed for a player who has joined in progress fixed. And we have breach charges and exothermic charges are not destroyed if a one-way mirror is placed on the opposite side of the same wall fixed. We have a Sledge fix. Sledge's model is corrupt during gameplay when viewed by other players is fixed. We have a Montagne fix. It is possible to shoot Montagne's pistol with his shield extended while doing a specific action fixed. Next up is level design fixes. For Bartlett University, we have destruction on the ceiling of the piano room above the fireplace can only be seen from one direction is fixed. We have players can clip through the first floor dining room outside door and can be killed by enemies fixed. And we have a player will get stuck in a wall when entering from rappel and first floor dining room fixed. In Clubhouse, we have defenders are able to clip into the outside shed by vaulting over a deployable shield fixed. In Bank, we have objects on shelves appear and deform upon LOD drop fixed. Now in user experience fixes, we have the square button on PS4 loses functionality on the highlighted items on the shop tab if the user tries to buy with square button, and returns fixed. We have the screen remains in continuous loading when accessing the Ubisoft Club challenges in-game and in the Uplay client fixed. We have full screen mode on a customization item can only be accessed once per item fixed. We have certain charms contain placeholder icons fixed. And we have some operators have lower resolution textures in their headgear pictures and in the character model preview mode fixed, with the note that this is an ongoing process and additional operators will be touched on in future updates. Now let's get into the highlights. The first major thing is all the buffs. We got a Glass gadget buff, we got a Doc gadget buff, we got a Buck gadget buff, we got an Echo gun buff, a Thermite gun buff, a Capitayo gun buff, and a Caveira sidearm buff. We also got some nerfs. We got a DMR nerf and a Jackal nerf. One of the biggest bug fixes I saw are that shields now properly register explosive damage again, and Blitz's draw time after firing a flash got fixed. One other major thing is that there is now going to be a technical test server. It hasn't been deployed yet, but it will be deployed in the coming weeks, where people will be able to test the new matchmaking system, one-step matchmaking, which I have been looking forward to. So I don't know why that's listed under the patch notes for this patch, but it is. The last thing to look forward to is a new Twitch Elite skin. And that's about it. And thank you guys for watching. I'll be doing another one of these for the next update. And like and subscribe if you want to follow this stuff. Thanks.